Hello and welcome to my second ever instructional design live stream. I'm working here at UPI. For this session, we're not going to be doing anything particularly crazy. I just have to kill my stream that I have on this computer because I'm getting my sound back in my ear, which is super annoying. So what I'm going to be working on is I'm doing a workshop on our learning management system. We're doing it in a couple of weeks. So we have first week is just the basics. The second week was quizzes. And the third week, which I'm going to be working on, is the gradebook. So what I'm doing for this is I'm just creating just a resource that I can send out beforehand for all the participants to take a look at, go through the slides, see the process, familiarize themselves with it, and then we'll be doing some hands-on stuff in the actual classroom with the gradebook. So it's nothing particularly highbrow or exciting. It's just some of my typical work, and I just thought that I'd broadcast that just to go through the process, talk about why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, maybe get feedback for improving it for whenever I run future workshops. But just one of the quick processes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a screen Photoshop because I'm going to work primarily in screenshots. But I'm going to add a window capture. Of tab. Okay. Now we're going to go to moodle.edu. I'm going to sign in, and I'm just going to go to a blank course that I have. And I'm just going to take a couple screenshots while I'm going through this. So we're going to be doing the gradebook. So I want, got that. Get a screenshot of the grader report. Screenshot of the full list. Screenshot of just a basic simple view. And the full view of the gradebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to Photoshop. And we're going to open up some screenshots. And then we'll be taking these screenshots and I'll be putting them into a PowerPoint file and be exporting as a .pptx and a .pdf. I'll be taking those files and I'll be putting them on the Moodle course that this group has been working in, and I'll be sharing them through email also. So trying to cover all my bases. For my color, on campus here we have 3 official colors. Because much of this website is white, and the secondary color is kind of our reddish color. I'm going to work in our secondary color, which is green. So keeping it on point, keeping it thematic, but also something that has good contrast. And is hopefully really easily visible. What I tend to do is I tend to draw natural arrows to point things out. And I'm going to take a text box. I'm going to work in probably a size 30 font. Course page. Scroll. B. And select grades. So I'm just going to adjust this a little bit so you don't have an orphan word at the bottom. There we go. So that is our first one. And I'm going to save this. And I'm not going to use a really great naming system. I'm just going to add a folder here. I'm going to call it Gradebook Slides. And this is be Gradebook 1. Because I'm just going to be worried about getting the order correct in the PowerPoint itself. So we'll close that. This. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this in layers. So I can use the slide over and over again. Add my arrow. So you'll be shown the grader report. Here, Moodle will show the grades of all course participants. Don't think that I need to say anything more about the grader report yet. Here, save this as grade. Now we're on to slide 3. I'm going to make changes. So just caught my first mistake. What I should be doing is drawing arrows to simple view and full view. Because there's a lot of things in this list, and not a lot of it will be things that I'll be directing their attention to. So it's probably best if I just make it a little bit easier to find by pointing at to the place where I want them to look. So I'm going to save this. Gradebook 3. So this is the full view. This is the simple view. Not sure if I want to identify those yet, or if I want to go and work mostly through simple view or the full view. Maybe what I'll do is I'll work primarily in the simple view, the full view. So what I'll be doing is I'll be making adjustments in my course page. So if I go back to OBS and move up my website again, so go back to my simple view. And for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete some categories. And I'll be adding in cases as I work through it. So again, if you're just joining me now, not really doing anything particularly exciting. I'm just creating some slides for a workshop that I'll be giving next week. It's on our Moodle gradebook. And I'm just creating this as a resource to send out to the people that'll be participating in the course so that they have something to familiarize themselves with the gradebook before they come into our workshop. So this isn't really meant to be standalone. It's just to get their feet wet a little bit. So one of the first things that I want to capture is activities that I already have in the course show up in the gradebook automatically. So I'm going to take that as a screenshot. I'm going to add categories. So what I'm going to do is I'll call this quizzes. I'm going to make it 20%. Don't need the drop lists. Don't need to worry about aggregation yet. So we'll go over those in the workshop. So for now, we'll start with this. And then I'm going to move the quiz, click on the, actually, I'll keep it here for now. Screenshot, so remember to do identify the icon, screenshot of the move itself, screenshot after. So let's work on those slides. So So a hello to anyone that's joining us. Thanks for hanging out with me as I'm doing my work. I'm gonna go back to Photoshop. So for now, I'm gonna leave these two save as gradebook 4. And gradebook 5. Again, I'm naming these files with terrible names because I don't plan on keeping them as their own individual resources. I just don't want to get the order mixed up. So I know I'm doing a bad thing. So I'm aware of it. I don't want to be growled at for that. So I'm just going to open up some slides. Hi, Brittany. You're in the chat. So Brittany is the one of the major driving forces behind trying to get instructional design community going on Twitch. So thank you for coming out for the support. I appreciate it. So now I am going to I'm going to do a couple things on this page. So I'm going to talk about pre-existing items in the course, and I'm going to talk about the course total. So let's do pre-existing items. So just, I can do prettier than that. And again, some green text. And you might already some grade items. Your grade book. So if you already have activities set up in your course, so that's fine. And I think that's all I need for that. Save this as gradebook 6. Add another layer. And I'm just going to add this number, course total. Should reflect achievable grade course. Usually 100. So it is, the grade in our course is not 100. So we'll be setting up categories to take care of that. So this is going to be gradebook 7. I might have to go back and turn these all into PNG files. We will see. So that's fine. Oh, wasn't fine. Desktop. No, not this one. Just gonna take a sec to find the slide that I'm looking for. So this is the slide that I want. So I'm just gonna go with this. A category. That's us group. Grade items. And there. A its own total grade. Now quizzes. I'm going to say that this is gradebook 8. Name your category. Help the students grade name. Where's that over again? Get rid of that orphan. Yeah. Another way. I'm just going to write in here the maximum grade is the category total. If quizzes final grade set the maximum grade to 20. I'm going to end up with an orphan and I'm going to be sad. Yep. Sometimes you just end up with an orphaned word. But best intentions I'm making this. Not going to be perfect. But close that. And we're just going to set this in as is. Let's grade book 10. Here we filled in the information that we were looking for in the previous slide. So now we have our quiz category. That there. And I'm going to add another one just to indicate the category is adding final grade. Total. That's the final grade. The category total is set to final grade. Changed. I'm just going to switch this so I don't have the line between. Unfortunately, some of these pages are pretty dense, and there's probably a better way to do that. And I'm more than happy to take suggestions. But for now, we're doing just a quick and dirty Moodle tutorial. Grade book. Oh, I need to open that side one more time. So I have to go to the desktop again. So don't need this one. Don't need this one. Don't need this one. All right. So now I'm going to show how to move the file. I have to get some arm movement on this. It's good enough. So we're gonna add a layer so I can selectively erase. Practice a few wide sweeps. That looks good. To move the quiz activity, press the up-down arrow. Let's save that. And go to gradebook. Gradebook 12. After this, I'm going to do a manual grade item after I finish showing how to do a move. So say press the box, box in this spot, you'd do. Perfect. Grade book 13. Brittany's trying to log into the Twitch Slack. I'd paste the file into the chat, but it has the link for all the accounts that I just set up, so I'm not going to do that. Brittany, you're just going to have to figure out your login once you get back on your computer or whatever. So for now, the quiz activity is now in the quiz category. And one more. Using my Intuos pad as a trackpad. That's not what I want. Oh, an ugly arrow. Moved. The final. The quiz is in the category. Has been moved. The final grade. Course total. So that's not always going to be true because you can set simple weighted means. But I think for now, I'm just going to focus on adding categories and adding grade items. So we're going to save this. Yeah, I hope your laptop gets up and running again soon, because that would suck to go without. I've been there. Actually, my personal computer I had the logic board fail on my MacBook. Took it to a spot to get fixed because it was still technically in warranty. Got it back. There's a huge hassle with getting it back actually because a guy told me that it was still broken and they didn't fix it because it was out of category or out of warranty. But that turned out to be wrong. But regardless, after I got it back, about 4 hours later, the refurbished logic board that they replaced my old one with was it failed. So I ended up having to get having to take it back to the repair shop, and it was there for a total of like 10 days or something like that, just trying to get this one piece fixed. So yeah, I think these should be the last few screenshots that I'll need for today. Let me switch back to OBS. We'll go back to Photoshop. We'll go through putting those errors in, and then I'll string this together in a quick PowerPoint, and we'll call that a day. So back to Photoshop. I'm going to open up the desktop. So open up these. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this a bigger area, just so that I can explain manual grade items a bit more. So I'm just going to copy the background chrome color and paint over that, add a brush stroke. I should have switched to my green. It's a slightly different shade of green, but I don't think I will get in trouble. If you want to grade, give a grade for an activity isn't wrapped in Moodle, you can add a manual grade item. I'm going to just give the example of an in-class quiz. Move this over. To our gradebook. Move this down a little bit and save this. So gradebook 15. It talks about the AC adapter, but at least doesn't mean that the laptop itself is broken, but glad that you got in. So I just set up a couple of accounts so that whenever we figure out more of this Twitch instructional design stuff, we can hopefully foster a bit of community with one general channel, having one landing place, and then hosting people's individual Twitch channels, or if they don't already have a Twitch channel, setting themselves up to stream through that, as well as setting up a place for everyone to go to for the archives of the videos, as opposed to just having them all in an individual spot. And then also an email address, in case we do things like a Twitter account or anything like that, depending on how well things go and what we ultimately determine is a good course of. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was streaming my Photoshop. So that's saved. So this is so the name that will appear the gradebook. I'm not going to talk about things like adding feedback in the gradebook, because we can do that with the grade type. But I think that'd be like a special topic or something devoted to like an intermediate course for the gradebook, and not something for just an introduction. So this is going to be the value of the, it's not the value, it is what the grade item, or the value the grade item is marked out of. Quiz scored 60 points. Max grade 60. And then a grade category. So you can, so it's the grade item, correct category now, or move it later into the correct category later. So that is gradebook 16. Like, it's not surprising that this is longer than I intended it to be, but this is a lot of slides. This is slide 17. I hope it's not too long, because I was hoping to do one for simple and weighted mean, but the fact that it's just flip, flip, flip should hopefully mean that it's easily readable. And I just need one more screenshot of just the final gradebook. Should go to, okay, Our manual grade item is now in the grade book. So yeah, do that. I'm gonna have to do one on the different types of grading. I'm just writing down notes for myself. So I have to do one on different types of grading. So simple, weighted mean, sum of grades, and also on grading in the grader report. So those are two more large steps. Yeah, so the idea with this slideshow is that I'm doing an in-the-face workshop with faculty next week. And these slides I'm going to send out probably Thursday. So this Thursday coming. So they have something to go through and just familiarize themselves with, and also a resource that they can go back to. The long-term goal is that we're going to be eventually doing an upgrade to our LMS. And at that point, we'll probably be recording a lot of tutorial videos. But for now, I'm just going to create these quick and simple tutorials. But I do need to cover a couple more topics in the gradebook that I'm just not going to do today because it's almost already been an hour. So yeah, now I'm going to just open up some PowerPoint. The bane of education in our modern day and age, and use that. So that's a good idea. Table of contents. Is that something that like it can do automatically, or I just tell people which slide is each topic and they can manually jump from their from wherever they started? I'm not really sure because I don't use PowerPoint super often. I'm just going to start. Okay. So there's less in here than I thought. I can hyperlink slides. Okay. That is super sweet. So yeah, I'll do that. So again, today I'm just going to finish this up and then I'm going to go home because I am lazy. But in the next few days, I'll make my simple weighted mean and sum of grade slides, as well as my grading in the grader report. And I will put that all in this one slideshow, and I will hyperlink slides so that people can jump through a useful table of contents. Thank you very much. That'll be good. It's gonna look super professional. Moodle gradebook. I should probably stream my window capture PowerPoint. Not that it's going to be anything particularly exciting. It's just going to be dropping in these images. But It's a lot better than just looking at nothing going on in this in my Photoshop. So there we go, PowerPoint. So this is going to be Moodle Gradebook. So I'm going to add a new slide. And I'm just going to take my learning objectives from my workshop. So take these. So now it is these two. I can't copy and paste into PowerPoint. So great. So objective number 1 is create gradebook that matches the course's grading policy, as well as add and arrange course resources. And then I will word some more as I get into the more complicated parts of the gradebook. And then I'll add a link for support at the end. Okay, so I'm actually on the much worse version of PowerPoint, the Mac version. So it's cool that the PC version that you insert a hyperlink. Let's see if I can do that. Insert slides from other line. Maybe if I go and highlight text, I can Command K. Web page. Okay. Doesn't seem like I have the option to insert hyperlink like that. It's in the document. I'm going to play around with this off camera, I think. And if I need to use the PC version, there are some PCs around my desk. So I'll use those. So new slide, format background, black autofill. Apply. Insert picture from file. And then I'm just going to do this like 17 times. Insert text on Mac. Okay. Desktop. I think OBS is really angry at me for running Photoshop and PowerPoint. And a live stream and a recording all at the same time. Time to see if I can just add my Adobe images or if it's gonna make me wanna throw in PNGs. Okay, so I have to delete these. Delete the boxes first. But looks like we're fine. Photo from file. Did it save where I pulled it from? Nope. Desktop. It saved that that box is open now. Create book one. Insert. And that's fine. I'm just going to quickly close Photoshop. And hopefully this just runs smoother. So delete side, delete this image, insert photo from file. Yeah, this is looking like it's just going to be a bit of busy work, and I've already seen the files. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to do this off camera. And then maybe in the archive, I'll find a way to post this as a Google Doc, like the finished project, so that people can see the working thing. Not sure if I'll be able to get the hyperlink to work in a shareable format, because I don't think you can do downloads off of YouTube descriptions, and that's probably a little sketchy anyways. Maybe I can do a Dropbox link, or a link to a Google Doc to download a PowerPoint, but we'll figure out a way to do that. But thank you very much for hanging out with me as I work on just this supplementary tutorial kind of thing. I appreciate the feedback and the tips. That hyperlink to slides would actually be a really useful thing to talk about with some of the faculty. Do you use PowerPoint just for making their slides more navigable for students? Because being able to jump around where you're interested into will be super, super useful. So thanks very much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time. So this stream should be archived on Twitch, and then tomorrow I'll get it up on our Twitch ID YouTube channel, which does not have a real URL yet, but I will fix that eventually. So thanks again, and see ya.